Today we're going to be doing an oil change on the 2021 Ford Bronco Big Bend. It's the 2.3 liter. First things first, we're going to want to take our steering wheel and turn the tires all the way to the right. When it's all the way to the right, go ahead and shut her down. This will give us access back here for our oil filter, which is going to be right there. For now, we're going to pop the hood. Now, what we first want to do is unscrew this cap, your oil cap. Go ahead and take that off and let it rest right in there. That's going to relieve the pressure for our process later on. And step number one, there should be 15mm bolts here for this plastic skid plate. You're going to have a plastic skid plate on here, or a metal one depending on what model you have. And this is for entry. We got to take this off for entry to unscrew the oil bolt for your drain pan. So let's start by taking this off. It's a 15mm and you got 6 of them. Okay, now that we have that skid plate removed, where my finger is, that is our oil drain pan bolt. That is what we have to take off next. And make sure you have a drain pan under here to catch all your oil that's going to spill. And this is going to be a 15mm. So let's go ahead and crack her loose. Crack her loose. Now she's going to start draining, baby. Quick, once it starts dripping, real quick. You want to be quick with it or you're gonna spill. I got a little bit on my fingers, but that's the worst I got. So if you're quick with it, once it starts dripping, pull it out real fast and it'll just come out in a nice stream like that there. Now that our oil is draining at a nice little trickle, it's almost all the way drained out. You're going to keep the pan under there where we turn to that wheel. And right in there, our oil filter, we can see, if we come down here, that we actually have a little funnel type piece right here that's going to catch the oil when we unspin and unscrew the oil filter a little bit. It's going to start dripping, and when it drips, it's going to run down this funnel here and it's going to fall down. So make sure that you have a pan big enough, or grab a different pan and make sure you're able to catch that drip that's going to shoot out of there. So let's go ahead and unspin that. And get right on there. Twist her lefty loosey. So twist her up a little bit until she's spinning freely and she's not so tight. So that oil rinse remover tool wasn't working for me. Maybe someone else it'll work for, but I was finding it a little tricky. So I went ahead and got my channel locks. Now that we've loosened that up, what we're gonna do is come over here to the other side now. Unless you have some extended arms, you could come do it like that, but come on over here to the driver's side tire, and we're gonna lift this little flap up right there. Put your hand in, grab the filter, and spin. until it starts flowing, and there it goes. We are flowing. Oh, and my pan did not catch. My pan was a little off. I spilled a little. I had to move it real fast. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and unspin that. Unspin until she is completely free, and slowly drain that oil into the catch. Until we can remove it right out. If done correctly, this thing drains the oil right out of that little funnel for you, and drains it right into your catch bucket. And now that we're completely drained from plug and filter, we're gonna let it rest for just 5 minutes. Let it sit, get every drop of oil out with free ventilation. Make sure nothing is, you know, stopping the flow. Make sure your dipstick is up a little bit. Make sure your oil cap is off a little bit. Your oil drain plug is off. Our oil filter is off, and everything is just draining right now. Okay guys, we have all of our oil that we're going to put back in the vehicle now. Make sure you put your drain plug back in. You want to screw that back in. But usually I dump a little bit of oil inside of my filters before I screw them on. But in this case you don't have to do that because we're going to prime the system. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. But I always use Mobil 1, guys. I go by Mobil 1. They're the best. I mean, I use them in all of my vehicles. Every single one of our trucks and vehicles always use Mobil 1. They're the best. But we're going to go ahead and use 5W30 today. And I can't stress this enough. This is amazing, guys. Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. I mean, oil alone is not enough. When it says that, I mean it's true. And especially for these high output engines, these Ford Broncos, this one in particular has a 4-cylinder with a turbo. And if you look at this right here, I mean, it says it right on the bottle. For extra protection needed in 4 cylinders and high performance engines. So you really want this in your 4-cylinder Bronco. Oil plug back in. Once you get that bad boy back in, make sure you don't forget to tighten her up. I have it set to 25 foot-pounds. That should be plenty. You don't need any more than that. Alright guys, and like I said, usually I like to add a little bit of oil to these filters before I put it on. So it's not, you know, dry start, but there's actually a system here that's going to bleed the system, and it's going to prime the system. And I'm going to show you that at the end of the video, so don't worry. So you can leave this dry. I always just put a dash in there just because. I'm just going to put a little dash in there and wipe a little bit around the seal just to make sure that the seal is oiled. And we're going to go ahead and screw on our oil filter back to where our oil filter goes. Our O-ring is nice and sealed, and I put a dash in there, guys. I mean, just a dash. I barely put any in there. I just put a little dash in there. And we're gonna set the camera up so you guys can see where I'm screwing her back in. There we are. You guys can see. Now I'm gonna get this tight. I'm gonna get this hand tight, as tight as I can with my hands, and then just a quarter turn. All right, everybody, once we screwed on our new oil filter, go ahead and get a rag and come up in here where the old fluid came down that funnel, and just get up in there with a rag like this and do one swipe all the way down. All the way down that funnel. And there you go. Nice and clean again. Ready to get dirty all over again. We're now ready to put our oil back in. We're gonna go ahead and put the Lucas in first. Put the whole bottle of Lucas in there. Okay, now this is gonna take exactly 6 quarts. So if you got a 5-quart jug, plus you used the 1 quart of Lucas, then that is our 6 quarts. So I'm gonna set the camera up right here. You can see the oil going right in. And just in case there's a little bit of residual oil in the motor, you know, once we get close to the end, we're gonna stop and check it. So don't use the whole bottle, but use the whole bottle, if that makes sense. Like once I get close to the end, once it's almost done, like I'm just gonna stop. And there's still a little tiny bit of oil in there. You can see there's still literally a little bit of oil. There's a little bit of oil left. But I'm not gonna use that because I know that there's a little bit of oil still left on, you know, in the motor. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Put our cap back on. Make sure your caps are completely back on. Go ahead and close the hood, guys, and hop in here. Remember, we didn't need to add any fluid into our filter because at the end of the video I told you I was going to show you how to pump the system. It primes the system. In the automatics, what we're going to do is we're going to put our foot down on the gas and the brake all the way as far as you can and press the start button. It's going to turn over but not do anything, and then it'll turn on. That lets you know that it worked through the system and it primed the oil before it started. And that's how you do it here on the automatics. On the manuals, I believe you hold down the clutch and the gas and then you do it. Same thing, just different pedals. And that's how you prime and purge the system for the oil filter. And we did the oil change. That is how you successfully complete an oil change. All right, everybody, here on your menu, the last thing you want to do is press this menu button with the 3 lines. It's going to take you into your menu. You're going to go down to where it says settings. Click settings by pressing OK. Oil life. Click oil life by pressing OK. And I still had time to do mine, guys. I just wanted to change it. So hold OK to reset oil life. So you're gonna hold OK and it restarts. 100% remaining. That is how you reset your oil life, programmer. And we're good to go. That is how you change the oil on your 2021 Bronco Big Bend. Thank you guys for watching Duramax Diaries. Until next time.